right. We are live. Okay. One second. Okay. I think I got my stuff set up here. I just need to grab a link, throw it in the Discord. Send that. Okay, perfect. We're good. So I did add just some basic sounds, like ambient sounds, pulled from my other projects. Why is this unlit? It's got the wrong mesh again, huh? Or just a bad mesh? Maybe we need to adjust the materials. I think so. But we also have some sounds. We don't have animations for the builds yet. Because that will require reworking all of the blend files. But one thing I want to focus on is making sure that we have some icons in place that actually look okay for like these items. Because right now I'm just using placeholder items. We have our ceiling lamp, just looks like a log. I need to make sure that it resets the rotation when you switch. Switch. No Strat, what's up? This is looking great. Thanks. Yeah, so I'll show you real quick. So a lot of the stuff is I'm pulling from my other projects, but I'm just trying to make them like more scalable as far as like the systems themselves. So I have like craft menu. These are mostly placeholders. Inventory, which is really tiny right now. This should actually be a lot bigger. We have our hotbar. We have placeables. Like this is the craft bench, which right now is just a box, but you can place it and you can open it, and it opens a new tab here that has what this crafting bench can build. You can still go to your basic crafts over here. Not sure if I'll keep it that way, but some similar system. And then these assets actually right now are just like these are just from Kenny assets, so they're free. I just grabbed a tree and I'm gonna rebuild. Like the trees I'm gonna make are gonna be pretty much the same style, because I really like this look, but I want to make big trees that have big branches too, because I really want you to be able to build in the trees, like build your base in the trees. Same with like these rocks. These are placeholder assets. So just so I can get up and running. I do like this little fireplace though, which you can toggle on and off. Pick it up. Oh. Right click, parent entity, menu, parent entity equals self. Player.menu.instantiate. What is this inside? Input actions? Why are we getting a problem here? Menu on base app of player.menu on character body 3D. Apparently I haven't right clicked on these in forever. Close menu is that. Menu icon, menu. Const menu. What was that error again? Okay, that's not in there. Let me see what's going on. I moved some stuff around. Kenny has some good stuff. Yeah, Kenny assets are great. Love the vibe. Yeah, I like this cozy. I'm thinking nighttime cozy vibe. I just bought Hightail. Oh, dude, Hightail looks sick. When I saw some of that, I was like, some of the footage from it, I'm like, this is like a perfect vibe. Have you tried Hightail? Oh, you were just asking. Asteron. I have not tried it. Played a bit with my wife and it's been fun. Yeah, it looks so cool. I didn't even really... I remember seeing it back in the day. Maybe, unless I'm misremembering, but... Because it was like canceled and then restarted recently, right? But... okay, let me figure out what this is again. Player.menu. Player.menu. Oh. What am I doing? It's not player.menu. It should be blip. Wait. This needs to be player because we moved all this into here. Okay. Player dot. Anything with dot menu in front of it needs to get. Okay. I need to rework this UI too. It's just it's not good, and even the inventory stuff. Inspect item doesn't do anything. Close. If I click over here. This is how you split, although I do want to do the split with middle mouse button as well. Let me see what happens if I... Okay, I can't middle mouse drag. Let's do that now. Do I have something for split stack? On split stack pressed, we do this. So we do get first empty slot, new index. Okay. So I can just do basically the same thing here. But I can go into input actions and do if input dot is action just pressed middle click. If input dot is action just released middle click. So this is where we're going to do like the drag just released. Okay. Let me paste this code here just so I have it. apparently they switched back to legacy build because they had a newer build Riot was working on, but they canceled. So they're basically just finishing stuff that's in the newer build and putting it in the older build, if that makes sense. Yeah, okay. So they have a ton of content to put in that's like half finished. Yeah, because they had made a lot of progress on it. I don't know how to say your name. Os Sama Omhani in the YouTube chat. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. Yeah, I know they had made a ton of progress, but then something, for one reason or another, they canceled it. But then this legacy build, they can just pull the newer content in, which makes sense. Okay. This is drop container. Ah, I see. Maybe we should put all this inside of the slot. Yeah, because we have this stuff in here, so we might as well do the left click, or the middle click here. Okay. If hovered, we need in both. This is just pressed. We should do this. We're just going to do this for now. Copy everything over and see if it works. Just to click and drag. Okay, so it works to click and drag. But what I want to do is make sure that we can split it. Lekari, what's up? How are you? I heard you got me a new follower recently. Or someone to see my stream. 3-minute ad, oof. Okay, we have drag to index. Okay, drag to inventory, blah, blah, blah. Drag to index equals drag from index. So if they're all the same, we just reset drag data. Drag from does not equal null, and drag from index does not equal 1000. We do swap or increase. Okay, we can't just do get first empty slot. I'm gonna have to think. There we go, back. Okay, nice. My friend just started following you. He's also interested in making Godot games. Nice. Nice. Good. We need more people doing Godot at all times. Wait, did it... Oh, no, Strat. Did you subscribe? Because it doesn't... Why does it not show up? But now I see a badge. Why didn't it go through? Okay, well, thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. Why did that not show up? Let me check something. So Discord. Okay, that still works. Oh, you were supposed to send a message, but I canceled. Okay. Maybe that's why. Yeah. Because subscriptions were... It did... Sangeki subscribed a while back, and that did pop up. Redeemed, look at Trello. Okay, we will look at Trello. Right now, I am working on something out. Backed out and rejoined due to the ad. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering because then, yeah, the ad is still technically going for another couple seconds. Looking at Trello, we got build UI. That needs to be done. Building components, we have more. Placeable system is actually pretty good. Foundations can't be placed unless touching ground. We can do that later. Tools on different rendering layers, that's later. Creatures, we're not there yet. Procedural maps, not there yet. Save and loading, not there yet. Hitbox, hurtbox, maybe. Gather tools, that's kind of along with that. Crafting is in progress and actually mostly done. I am going to add here inventory splits and then inventory UI better because we do need that. But inventory splits is what I'm working on now. So what I want, we also, let me also, real quick. Inventory drag icon preview. And then also because I want when you drag, right now when you drag to a new slot, drag and drop, it doesn't show the icon as you're dragging it. The other thing we need, inventory and crafting viewable at the same time or in with good layout. That's going to be something because at first I was like, oh, I don't need to, I can just have the inventory visible or I can have the crafting. But the thing is, like, let's say you place a crafting table, then you open it up. When you craft something, the only way that you see that it's been added is in your hotbar if it's in these first 6 slots, which are your hotbar. But like if I add a bunch of boxes, now I can't tell that I'm crafting more. Plus, we're going to have more UI stuff with the crafting menu. I'm just not focused on it right now. But we do need to get this this split thing. Okay, so if parent entity drag from inventory does not equal null and the index is not 1000. Right now, this is checking if we need to do a swap or increase. Why does swap or increase not have? Let me think about the states we need to do here. So, okay. Same item. If we have the same item, and if we have different items, if I middle click drag to this one, well, first, if it's no item, middle click drag to this one, it should just split 1/2 and 1/2. If I middle click drag to one that has that, then we increase by 1/2 if we can. Otherwise, we just fill the remainder space. And if we drag to here, nothing should happen because this is a whole different item. Something like that. Okay. If this is the same, okay. If parent entity dot, or actually, parent entity dot actually, we'll do a does not equal. String or string name can be used as index for type inventory, but received int. Okay, so let's try this. I'll grab two different items, and if I try to middle click, right now this will just drag it there. If I try to do that, why does it do that? Does not equal. Oh, drag from, this needs to be drag to, and drag to, save. Okay, now let's try it. Oh, broken. Let's continue, let's restart it and see. Ah, okay. So if it's null, it's not letting me drag into empty ones either. Okay. Does not equal. Okay. So we're going to copy that and we're going to do. And the drag to inventory item does not equal null. Okay. So as long as there is an item there and it doesn't match, then we don't do anything because this is our splitting. Could it be that the time is not splittable since there's only one? Well, right now I'm not actually doing the splitting yet. I'm still using the code from just drag and drop, but I'm just checking my logic using that. But now I need to actually use this logic here, where I will have to check, like, if there's only one, then maybe we treat it like just a normal drag and drop. I think so. I think so. Okay. But we will need to think about that case. If there's only one, yeah. Okay. But this at least checks and makes sure that you're trying to drag into a slot. Okay. So if now we got to do this. So drag from inventory does not equal null, and then here we can do and parent entity. So the drag to inventory, where you're dragging to, item equals null. Then we can do our logic inside of here. So we can say, maybe we need to do this here too. guess we'll see if things error, but okay, a lot of commenting out. These types of things are always hard to think about, like all the things you're keeping track of, because it's not just, do we swap it? No, it's like, do we increase it? How much is left over after we increase it if it makes a stack full? But we do have some helper methods that we created. So, okay, so if it equals null, can remove without going to 0. I don't think we actually need that. Okay. We'll do something like half, which is an int, equals ds inventory light dot get, what is it? No, we got to do parent entity dot drag from inventory dot get quantity at index, and that's going to be parent entity dot drag from index. But this is technically going to be divided by 2. And round. What does round do again? Let's see. Rounds to the nearest whole number with halfway case is rounded away from 0. .4 returns 2. 2.5 returns 3. 2.6 returns 3. And we could just check here. We could do no, let me just do it this way first. Okay. So now half is there. Then we can do something like parent entity dot drag to inventory dot add item to inventory I hate having to type all of this out. Hey, Hyper Game Dev once again. Thank you for the raid, brother. How you doing, man? Good to see you again. Double platform raid. And on YouTube. Dang. Thank you, brother. How's it going, man? How was your stream? Lunchbox, good to see you too. Been relentless? Yeah. Well, this is the year. Me and Nujank have talked about it. We got to lock in. Sister, sorry. My bad. Tanze, I don't know how to say your name. I'm going to call you Tan. Yo, what's up? How you doing? All good? Yeah. I will, I'm currently halfway brain dead trying to figure out my own inventory system and how to make this drag and drop splitting. So if you middle click, drag, and drop to another spot, it splits it in half. And this is where ADHD comes in, because I had absolutely no intention of doing this when I started the stream, and we are 30 minutes in, and we are now doing this. How was your stream, Hyper? Okay. I've got there's way too many parent entity drag from, parent entity drag to, like, too much code here that we're going to say var inventory, whoops, in inventory equals parent entity dot drag from inventory var df dt equals parent entity dot drag to inventory. Okay. This is drag from, so we can do df. Here we can do dt. Drag from df. We still have the drag from index and all that, but stream was good. Thanks. I got some custom pathfinding logic working, kind of nice. Pathfinding ADHD fam. Yep. It is a fun challenge. Pathfinding is like something that every single time I do it, even just using Godot's built-in pathfinding, I always forget how to do it, and then it always takes way longer than I think. And I still haven't figured out a good way, because using navigation meshes, there's some issues that come with the types of games I'm trying to make. It's hard. So I understand when you say you got your pathfinding logic working, kinda, because that's pretty standard. By the way, I think your raids have pushed me to the highest viewer count I've ever had. So thank you, Hyper. Appreciate it. I should probably just show people the game if they haven't seen it. This is a lot of placeholder stuff, so you'll notice little boxes like these and icons like this. Stone and a small box, and then we've got like wood, and then the hammer is the only one that actually matches the item. Because here, well, I guess this matches the box. But this right here is a wall-mounted lantern that you can place, and it obviously is not a rock. So a lot of the items in here are all placeholder. I was going to work on that today, and then I got distracted. We have wall-mounted stuff. We have, if you haven't seen the game yet, we do have a building system. And yeah, we've got a build system that's basically like Rust, if you've ever played Rust. Got triangle foundations. Let me throw a little airlock on here. If you've ever played Rust, you know that this is extremely important. You always need your airlock. But yeah, we've been working on this. I have a, if anyone's interested in playing around with this build system, I do have a plugin for it. It's not fully finished, so you can play around with it, but just don't expect everything to work, because I haven't updated it in a couple months. But then we have things like, let's see, this right here. Yeah. So we have our placeable system working, where, you know, you can place things on the wall, or you have like ceiling mounted placeables like this. We got floor mounted placeables like this box. We have some basic stuff working as well, like a crafting menu, which right now everything is free, but let me do like, do we have the fire pit? Yeah, nice. Fire pit icon is right now a rifle. But always happy to share in game dev streamer communities with others. That's why I love the game dev community on Twitch and on YouTube. I've just had kind of nothing but good experiences with all the game dev people. It's been super cool. Lekari says, looks really clean. Thanks. Yeah, it's getting there. Obviously, a lot of this UI stuff is not great and will require some time. But we have placeables. I can turn on this fireplace. Gives it a nice cozy feel. And this whole game is about kind of coziness. Like I'm trying to nail the vibes. I'm trying to get the feel right, you know? Which is why I want to start adding real icons and stuff, because right now the UI is it just doesn't match the feel of the game. But I drew this little hammer icon, and I don't know if I want to do pixel art for the icons. So, and then at some point I am going to add the walking mountains in. For everyone who's seen those, I think they work great in a game like this for exploration purposes. But yeah, crafting is working, which is nice. Right now, everything is free to craft except for the stone hammer, so I can easily add whatever I want into my inventory. Which, by the way, I should also go to my inventory node here. There's no reason I should have 12. Let's do like 48. I think I just had that for testing purposes. Okay, now we got a big inventory. And I'm almost wondering if I will do what I have in the other game where it's like crafting inventory here. This should be like on the left side. My actual inventory should be on the right side. And then when you open a box, instead of having the box inventory just next to the inventory, we could still show the crafting inventory. Add fog. I have a tiny bit of fog. So the fog does help, but it presents some problems, so I try to not go overboard on it. So I'm using for anyone who uses Godot, this is a really good plugin, Sky 3D over here. If you're doing 3D Godot, Sky 3D gives you a sky, it gives you a time of day that you can adjust. Current time, I can set this to 12. And now you can see the fog because it's way too bright. We'll go back to 19-ish. Okay. That gives us like a little bit of red sky. I don't mind that. But we do have things like wait, do we have sky or fog on right now? It says it's not enabled. Huh. Okay. Oh wait, no, fog visible on. We have fog there. So what happens if I do fog here? Okay. 0.01. Let's do 0.02. I don't know if I had fog or whatever. At a cave and some mining nodes, some cute little bats. That's definitely going to be there. Because I also have my rock golem guys that I'm going to pull over from another game. Okay, so with fog, there's some things that do look good, but you have to be like really careful with it. Oh, you can see here there's some lighting artifacts, and that's because the player right now has a light on him, which I actually kind of want to take off. I just had that there so I could see a little better. So with fog, it does look pretty good. I'm going to go a little bit more toned down. The fog is kind of hard to get right. So I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it at 0.01 for now and just have it there. It does add something. Seems like a nice plugin. Yeah, very fun to play with. Because you can also do in-game time. So I can do game time enabled. We can do 30 seconds per day. And then you just get to watch the whole universe go by. Which is kind of fun. But then it becomes day. It's like, oh, cool. Although I have, oh, you know what it is? I have the camera exposure pretty high. So that's why everything's like really bright. That's another thing that's been kind of hard to play with is the lighting. Because I want it to be at night. Like the whole game takes place at night. And you kind of conquer this forest by building around in the forest. You create the light. So I'll turn off that. So at night, I have the camera exposure higher just so then you can actually see a little bit. I do love the look of the campfire where it kind of flickers a little bit. But yeah, it's coming together. We're figuring it out. But right now we're trying to figure out our splits here. Character could be vampire adjacent, has to come out at night for some reason. I think this whole thing is just going to be at night. That's what I really love, the nighttime look. And I like it just being a dark forest. You're just in a nighttime world, I guess. I don't know. 3D lighting in Godot takes a lot of adjusting. Yeah. Most of my projects are 3D and it's always a struggle. Yeah, especially because it's like, it's time of day. Because then you have to balance all the other lights based on what time of day. Totally works. Yeah, I kind of like, because then you're just in that vibe the whole time. The nighttime vibe, you're setting up little houses, little, lamps on the walls, lamps on trees. You're building up in the trees. Basically, Nostrat, imagine Lothlorien or Rivendell at night all the time. That's what I want players to be able to create. And there's not really, at this point, I may add it, I may change it later and add options for combat. But I'm not really doing combat in this at the moment. There may be some later, and maybe I'll have like a creative mode versus a survival mode. But the survival is more against, I don't know, I don't even know if there's going to be that much survival mode or if it's going to be more creating the environment and progressing the environment around you or something. Might have to check out that plugin. Yeah, Sky 3D, it's great. And then, yeah, that's what I'm hoping. That kind of vibe. But then, yeah, Sky 3D, by the way, is made by the same people who do Terrain 3D, which is a really good terrain plugin for Godot as well. Finding world secrets, yep. Exploration, creating the environment around you, interacting with the forest creatures, because I want you to be able to tame pets and interact with more intelligent creatures, stuff like that. Okay, let me focus in for just a second here. Okay, drag to inventory. We got DT. And what does drag to inventory do? Add item to inventory. It requires an item and a quantity. Okay, that's not. Add item at. Maybe it's a ds inventory light dot add. No, it's not that. I need to turn up my sound effects. Could add some kind of research station that allows you to unlock new abilities or skills like farming. That is, I think so. Yeah, that's good. Because I want a progression of your character as well. DT, add item to inventory. Increase stack at index. Okay, set item at index. Index item quantity. Okay. Index is going to be parent entity dot drag from or drag to index. And then we need the item, which is df dot inventory parent entity drag from index, and then we need half. Huh? Should be item, but is item slot. Oh. Parent entity dot reset drag data. Okay, right now this is not going to actually, it won't work perfectly, but we can see if it's at least working a little bit. So if I drag here, that put a quantity of 0 there. Okay, so it works halfway. Let's craft up some more. No, let's craft up some pistols because we can actually split those. Okay, 4 and 2. It should be 2 and 2, of course. But we are splitting. Oh. Inventory on base object type nil. DF. Drag from inventory does not equal that item. What is nil? Self. Inventory on base nil. Let's try this again. Let's craft up some pistols. So we do that. Okay. I don't know what that was, but we will run into it again at some point. We'll run into that problem. And then we can fix it. Okay. Now, what we need to do is dt dot, or drag from dot inventory, whoops. No, dot decrease stack at index. Quantity is going to be half. Index is going to be drag, or parent entity dot drag from index. Now, obviously, if half is equal to 0, we need to just do half is equal to 0. And then we do drag to set item at index. Or no, then we just do drag to dot. Yeah, set item at index. And this needs to be so index is drag from parent entity dot drag from index. No, drag to index. Then we got the item, which is the drag from item. Quantity, we can do this dot quantity. So at this index, at the drag to index, we grab the drag from item and drag from quantity. And then we do dt, or drag from dot decrease stack at index, or just remove item at index, parent entity dot drag from index. else. Okay, let's see if this works. So there's one of these, so that just drags it if you middle click. If you left click, it drags it. If you right click, you can do that. Okay, now let's craft up some pistols. Boom, 2 and 2. I move that to there, that stays 2, nice. Okay. Nice, we got splitting. Oh, okay, there it is. So on inventory on base object type nil. Which one is nil? Both. No, that's there. Parent inventory. That's parent, okay. Parent entity is player. I think that's if I drag into a slot that doesn't, or not into a slot. Also, I think we can move this up. Then here we can go blip, blip. This should be DF. Oops. Drag from inventory, and then here. Okay, and this can be DT, just a... Okay, now what is causing this? Access to property or key inventory. Let's try it again. Yay, what's up, Sengeki? How you doing, man? Today is Crowdy? Yeah. We got a raid from Hyper Game Dev on both platforms. Thank you again, Hyper. Appreciate it. Okay, so we can split. But then if we... Now I'm trying to... Okay. Maybe we just need to do a quick null check. Drag to index. Item does not equal null. Oh, maybe is it because we're dragging from... Yeah, okay. We just need to make sure that... Let's do it right here. If df is equal to null or dt null, parent entity dot reset drag data, and then return. Okay, I think I can get rid of this. Get rid of this. This is the nice thing about just having all of these. Let's also do this. DFI int equals parent entity dot drag from index. Copy this, paste DTI drag to Then we can do this. Drag from index. Grab, 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 grab. And that is DFI. And then grab all of these. Okay, it's a little bit less readable, but at least it's not giant. But yeah, it's nice having my own little inventory plugin because I can get most of it working to a point. And then I have a lot of these little helper functions I've made, which if anyone's interested in seeing the inventory system, I can show a little bit, which is DS inventory light. But we have one global, which I should probably build out more of these functions. But what are we working on today? I'm supposed to be working on artwork, but I've been doing some inventory stuff, but we will be. So the DS inventory global, DS inventory light global, the reason it's called light is because I had made another inventory system before that was a little more heavy. This is a little more lightweight, and you bring your own, you have to do all of your own UI, basically. Before I had my own UI built in. But we have some helper functions like swap or increase, and that's where you can do these little, like, check if you need to swap 2 items or increase 1, swap 2 inventory slots, pick up item, drop item at index, remove quantity of item from inventory. That's nice when you're doing crafting. And then I have the actual inventory class, which you can add to anything that you want to have an inventory. So like my player has this inventory node. You give it a inventory size, hotbar size if you want. And then in the inventory, you have a bunch of helper methods as well. So you have things like add item to inventory, set item at index, get item at index, remove item at index, increase stack at index. Oh, and I can even do get item at index. I forget to use my own stuff. So like df dot, well, I guess this doesn't really help. Get item at index dfi. All right. dt dot get item at index dti. So like this will check, okay, is this item null? Is this, which actually we can paste these in here just so I remember to use them. This would be something like, dot get quantity at index dfi. Let's see if I broke anything by doing typing DTI instead of DFI. Pistol still works. Okay. We will need some icons to actually, when you're dragging, I want the icon to actually show up. There's a way to do it, but through Godot, like a built-in way, but it didn't seem to work for all, it wouldn't work for middle click, if I remember right. But okay, we can drop items, We can also do V to drop items. And then pick them back up. Is in-game time still on? Yes. That's why it's getting darker. Okay. Okay. Nice. Now it is a little dark in this area, which is... This is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go into my forest scene. Let's grab the fire pit. Move that a little closer. I guess it doesn't light up too much, but... Oh, interesting. We've got outlines showing up through that because these are unshaded. Obscure, what's up? By the way, this is potentially the last of my nicotine. I'm going to be attempting to quit. No promises. I'm already stressed just at the thought of potentially quitting. Okay, but we know what we need to do. We've got all of these crafting items. And these icons are obviously not going to work. A ceiling lantern does not look like this. A wall lantern does not look like a stone. A pistol does indeed look like a pistol, but those are not going to be in my game. You are not going to have pistols. Where's the heroes? You are the hero in this game. I get it. Yeah, dude. I'm so stressed about it. And I still have pouches left. We'll see. But I did buy a bunch of this gum. Yankee. Which is, what do you call it? Does this have xylitol? I think so. Yeah, xylitol. Oh, yeah, it says at the top. But this is the gum that basically helps kill bacteria and stuff. iHeart, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. But the strategy I'm going to do is just chew a ton of gum. Nice, you got this. If not now, soon enough. Rip nicotine. Yeah, hopefully. If I don't, fail and buy more, that is okay. It just means I need to try again. You know. Oh, yeah, what can I... Man, I do love just building. I'm glad I added the sounds of the build. We are also going to add in sounds or animations for the builds as well. Let's do... oh, what happened there? Where did it go? Oh, you can still hear the sound even if... whoops. Even if you do not build anything. That needs to be fixed. We need a wall. We also need icons for the builds because obviously a wall is not a pickaxe. But we do have like wood angled roof, which really helps with the base building. Like you can get cool looking bases. Got the wood angled walls here for filling in your gables. Let's craft a fire pit to throw in here. And let's put a... Oh, got some weird lighting there. Let's do a few of these ceiling lanterns. Try to get the vibe right. Yeah, lighting. Oh, you know what that is? It's because these are getting placed halfway in the floor. Which might just be a collision thing on these floors. I think it is. Practicing, I believe in you quitting, thank you. Practicing quitting makes perfect quitting, yes. Sister said she just spoiled herself all day with candy bars, no reason not to. True, I could just have like a gaming day for the first day. Water. Yeah, water, like a river, ability to craft a little robot, or rowboat, not a robot. That'd be fun. Yeah. Rivers, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do it because, so at some point I need to do, like procedural generation. And so I'm still trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to do that. Especially with things like rivers. Why do I still have this song? It's way too aggressive. Okay. Yeah, and I've never done procedural generation, and I got to do terrain that way too. And so with rivers, that's just going to be a big challenge. I may not even focus on that at all in the demo, like, and just have one tailored map or something for the demo. Because I've never done procedural gen. Yeah, that's what I would want. No strat is each world spawn procedural. I have an ad coming up in 3 minutes, just a heads up. Yeah, I just don't know how I'm going to do it. Because I still also need to figure out exactly how I'm going to do the terrain. This is obviously one flat world with just little rock features. I kind of like the idea of having flat elevations, no like smooth elevations, but instead more like flat plateaus. And there's, you know, elevation to it, but they kind of go in plateaus or something. Tailored MVP, I'm thinking that. For procedural gen, you could use Perlin noise for the displacement of the plane vertices and apply a constant that changes each session. Right. For the plane vertices. So I would have to normalize it in some way if I want to do plateaus, right? Because like I said, I don't really want like smooth hills and stuff. I want it more like this, where let's say you had these kind of rock formations, but just bigger and more like cliff sides, and then little ramp parts where you can get up to the next one. But I'm still thinking about it. I don't know. Really like the look of your game so far. That low poly assets and lighting are all very cozy. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Low poly is all I know how to do. Some of these assets, just so you know, like these trees and these rock formations, they are from Kenny assets, so I didn't actually make these, but I'm going to make my own. And they're going to end up looking very similar. But so it will look a lot like this. But low poly is just so fun and so much easier. And I'll show you kind of the vibe. I'll pull to another project here real quick. some of the creatures in this project that I'm going to pull up are going to be in this new project that I'm working on, this cozy nighttime cottage life builder. No harm in using assets, especially for trees and stuff. Yeah, I don't have any problem with it. The only thing is then it can be harder to mix and match because you're trying to, pull from different things that don't always have the same visual style or detail level. But I have no problem with pulling assets, of course. I just also enjoy doing a lot of Blender work. Could use frequencies, Perlin allows it. Okay. Sengeki, maybe when we get to that point, which might be a long time, but I wouldn't mind getting your input on that. Kind of like how I can only draw 32 pixels, everything else makes my head hurt. Yep. This game genre sounds perf for me. Yep. That's what I'm looking for, cozy, But this project was one that I was working on that I have discontinued because it's too much work. But this is all assets made by me, so I have like these little tree assets. This is my visual style right here. Not a lot of texturing. Here you are a character that is just a floating cube. But like there's these creatures, which I made this creature way back in the day, and he's still like one of my favorite. Little grass bro that just burrows down into the grass and then comes back out and runs around. But like these rock golems are definitely going to be in the forest. Because I just love these guys. They got a little moss beard. They kind of sit down like this and create a little cave. I was going to make it so then they become a true cave. And then like little animals will like come hang out. Something like that. So I could do that in the forest as well. Got to play to your strengths and what's fun for you to make. 100%. If you're like, I'm learning skills all the time, of course. So like procedural generation, I don't know yet, but I'm going to learn. But the things that I'm good at are just general vibes. And this guy not, okay, his outlines. General vibes and settings. That's what I'm good at. And I can make the systems for the other parts of like survival elements. I know how to do that. I haven't quite gotten far enough in any survival project to get like a true progression going, but I'm not that far off in this one. But sure, always here. Yeah, that would be great, dude. Like I said, it might be a long time because I don't even know if I'll do it for the demo, but that's a cute little grass bro. Yep. Love them too. They look like gentle giants. Yeah, they're chill. Be cool to have birds, etc., hanging onto them to show they're peaceful. Yeah. Lovely stuff. You have a consistent aesthetic. Yeah, I think I figured that out because of my very first project. Here, I'll do a little project hop again. My very first 3D project, which was, I learned so much on this. It's the systems in it, the code is horrific. It's terrible and not scalable at all, and this will never turn into anything, this project. But I learned so much about Blender and figuring out my visual style. And my visual style is basically what is also easiest for me, which is nice. But this project here, oh, I have the cinematic enabled still. But this was the one where I like learned how to do Blender, because all of this is made by me in Blender, including this robot character here. And I had to learn how to animate him to some extent. The animations are not great, but this was going to be my, grand RPG, which of course, when you're, 4 months into game development and you decide to start a new project and you pick a grand RPG, usually doesn't work out. But like all of the Blender stuff that I learned from this was huge. You can tell that the code is terrible because I'm getting 55 FPS in this. Am I able to pick these up? Yeah, okay. But like I made, you know, animations of attacks, 2 attacks, because it took forever to do these. I made creatures. I am going to use these guys as well in the forest game because I just love the look of these. They're crazy looking, and the way they waddle is just great. But like I learned so much just about low poly and getting an aesthetic going, and this has a fairly consistent aesthetic. And I just spent months learning Blender. Like that's just what it was. I was just doing a ton of it. And it's all, once again, low poly, so it's nothing crazy. There's not a single texture in this game or in this project. Like there's just no textures, which is great for me. I've never done textures. Don't know how to do them. Prime, what's up? Just woke up and YouTube put me in the stream. There we go. Hopefully we can help wake you up. This is the Godot engine. This is from like 2 years ago, this project, or maybe a year and a half or something. So it's one of my old ones, and it didn't end up going anywhere. You can see the grass creatures. This is when I first added them to anything. When you attack them, then they burrow down. And then when you walk away, they decide it's safe and they come back out. But yeah. Hyper says, my first 3D project has low FPS too. It's a rite of passage, yeah. I even did, like, the amount of performance that I did on this project was optimizations, was just making the trees that are further away into just a bunch of triangles. And that's about all I knew how to do with performance. And then I did some performance stuff, like if you're far enough away from these guys, they just don't move. But really, I bet it's all the fact that I have a million primitives on screen and way too many draw calls and all this stuff. But even stuff like the grass moving away, having this little grass shader where the grass moves away as you run past. Like, there's a lot of decent stuff in this game. These creatures I like. The look is good, except for those guys who are broken currently because their legs stick out of their heads. But yeah, like, it's a cool environment, and that's what I like making, is cool environments. This was going to be a boss fight area, because this was originally going to be kind of like a Souls-like. But good morning, YouTube. You are in Godot, yes. Okay, I use the Unity engine. Okay. I've never actually used Unity. Godot is like the only... Well, okay, I've used Unity for like an hour. Way back, like 5 years ago or something. But then I switched to Godot, and Godot has gotten to the point where it's good enough for the types of games I want to make. And I like GD script. I like how lightweight it is and stuff. Have you tried disabling things once you get far enough away? That way you can save on resources and increase frames. On this project, I did a tiny bit of that with like the creatures. But this was so early on in my game dev experience that I wasn't really thinking about stuff like that. I have done that with, so like with trees, using multi-meshes, so you're only doing draw calls, one draw call instead of thousands when you have tons of trees. I've done stuff like that since then. Which actually, let me do a... Gives a risk of rain. Yeah. Such a good style. Godot just clicks for me compared to all the others. Yeah, and it's lightweight, which is big. Where's my very first one? January game. This is my very first game that I tried solo. Just so you guys can see, from a couple years ago. But Prime, that's what I've been trying to learn more of for optimization, is things like that. Because I had that where I could show something like, I don't know, 100,000 trees on screen without big performance drops and stuff. And then how I would do it is like when you actually get close to trees, then they become real trees instead of just a mesh, and you know, not having collision on anything that you're not close to and stuff like that. I'm still not very good at it, but all right, here is the first one. All of the scores are broken because I don't know how to do saving and loading, and still kind of don't. I haven't attempted it since this game. But this was the first 2D game, which is this guy right here. You go around. Technically, it was supposed to be a speed running game, but then I added a bunch of like upgrades and stuff, which doesn't really actually fit because then you try to grind these guys and get XP. So like level up. Okay, now I have this. Oh. Still kind of surprisingly fun. Ooh, I don't know how I didn't die there. Let's do a fireball. But this is where I realized that 2D artwork and animations is hard. Once you get Maelstrom, you just kind of run around in circles until they all die. Continue. Still have a level up. Nice. Let's do fireball. But yeah. First attempt at making a game. But then 2D art can just be really hard. Like 3D art is hard, but the animation on 2D is just really difficult. Like, because you have to make for every direction if you're doing. Even this, like all I did was 2 directions for the enemies because it was just too much. For the character, I have 4 directions. The main character. I do love these sound effects. It's just me making that noise. Oh, I'm dead. There we go. Then you turn into a ghost. Yeah. 2D art stresses me out. Thank you. Yeah. Looks like a smaller version of Hades, and I love it. Yeah, it was actually a pretty fun little project. Learned a bunch, of course. It's weird, 2D seems simple, and then you kind of realize as you work with 2D that 3D games are easier to work with. Yeah. Yeah, 3D, like, I was telling my brother that, Jamin, when he started playing around with Godot, and now he's making something really cool. Helicopter game. But he had also assumed kind of the same thing, and I did as well, that 2D was just easier. And sure, there are, like, it is in some ways. But the moment you get to artwork, it changes a bit. Like, there's just a lot of stuff that you can't, you just can't really do faster, you know. 2D is all about imagination. 2D is still great on like the mechanics side and stuff, but it's hard to get faster without getting really good at the animation art side. Even when you're really good at it, it's just time consuming. So if you're trying to do a big world with a ton of art, then it gets difficult. But it also depends on the type of 2D, because if you're doing isometric, that's completely different from, you know, top down or platformer or whatever you're doing in 2D. But 2D, you can do some really cool visual styles that are just cool. But I just found that I am too impatient to do animations in 2D. In 3D, I can do them. I still get impatient with it. But I don't know. In 3D, I enjoy it more. Plus, in 3D, I've gotten good enough at Blender that I can like do the stuff I want to do quickly, and then I can change assets quickly, which I think is a big one. Like this is my wall lantern, right? It has no detail at all, but it's there. And when I want to start adding some details and stuff, it's not going to be hard. I can just jump back in. It will re-import. The only thing is on certain items, like let's say my hammer, the workflow for the hammer mesh is a little annoying because I need to have the mesh itself and the blend file. Like I have to have two meshes basically. I have the blend file that gets instantiated, and then I have the actual mesh. And you get annoying things like, I'll show you. If I grab this and drop it over here, okay, it looks like that, very dark. Then I pick it up, okay, it's still dark, but it's like the materials are different. Maybe it's not, maybe it's just a lighting thing. Let me test this with the player light on again. Yeah, like that's still really dark. Then I pick it up and it's bright. So clearly I need to do something. I think it has to do with do I have a hammer mesh? Oh, I don't. Okay. I think I can extract the mesh. Let me try this. Assets, 3D tools. Okay, stone hammer mat. Okay, maybe I can just do it this way. Let me open up the resource, grab this, toss it in there. On the blend, on the hammer scene, am I changing out the mesh? Okay, I'm using the same materials as in Blender, it looks like. Okay, let's try this and see if it works. If this works, then I'm going to be very happy. Oh my goodness, it does. Okay, that's how I can do it. Sick. And it's saved to file, so maybe it will just update the mesh. If this works, I'm going to be very happy. I'm going to open recent. Let's go to our stone hammer. Put some little eyes that appear out of the dark but disappear when you get close. Ah, I like that. Just for some environmental. Yeah. It's like a question for everyone. Is it normal to go back to your old work and compare it to your new work? I do it all the time. Well, when I'm streaming, I do, because I'm usually showing people. But okay, now let me try something real quick. I want to see if this... if I edit this here, I'm going to extrude it way down. Or actually, no. Let's GZ. We'll make it longer. Save that. Come back into here. Okay, so it shows up in the hammer scene as longer. What happens when I go here? It looks like that updated. Dude, this is huge. Yes! So now both meshes are longer. I'm almost tempted to keep it like that. Oh, that's huge. I can't believe I'm just now learning this, because this is like this is a problem I've had since the beginning. of having these meshes where you don't want to have to create new meshes for everything, or separate meshes like OBJ, because the materials get all messed up. But if I can just have the blend file and then go into the blend file, go to meshes, click on this, do save to file on, and then set a path, then it will automatically re-import that using the blend mesh instead of some exported OBJ file that just doesn't work. Sometimes I would say that it's a good idea to revisit. Yeah, good stuff we forget about, and we can observe how we've grown. That, for me, for sure. Yeah, that is really cool, because now, like, so the issue that I was running into is I have a stone hammer scene, right? And this is when the hammer is in your hands. So then when you do left clicks or right clicks, this stone hammer can do different things. So like here, I can place building components and stuff. Is building is false return? I see. I can fix the sound effects thing right here by just place that there. But like, I can have this stone hammer scene, right? But the moment I'm in my game, I have item scenes right here, because I don't want to have to create drop the actual stone hammer scene in here, because then I have to add the ability to pick it up and all that stuff to that. Instead, I have item scene, which handles all of my item stuff, and I have to have a mesh assigned to that. And that mesh is inside the Stonehammer resource, but you can't just grab the blend file and drop it in there. So now, knowing I can just save the mesh to file from the blend file and pull it in there, and it will update this and the scene every time I change the mesh. That's good. That's very helpful. I do think it is nice to go back and see how much you've learned. Because, like, let me check out an old project, like 3D RPG, and let's see what kind of code we're working with. A lot of my code isn't that much better because I'm building on the fly, and sometimes I'm like, I don't care if this code is terrible. But I know there's stuff in here that is horrific. Some of this isn't bad, like Herpbox and Hitbox is good, Hit Info is good, but the reason why this code is good is because it came from Newjank, and he just taught me how to do it. Inventory item. Okay, this is stuff like this. When you're picking up an item, it just says if player in range equals true and input is action pressed, then we do pick up item. We have global.add item to inventory. So this is my old inventory system that it literally took me like multiple weeks to figure out because I kept rebuilding it and just having the worst time until Newjank showed me his way of doing it, and I was sort of able to salvage this slightly. And I ended up using like resources for slots and item slot resources. So you have item slot and then you have item. All I know is that I basically ended up copying Newjank's code and rebuilding mine until it eventually sort of worked. So like these comments are just straight from Newjank's. And then I just sort of reworked it into mine. So actually, some of this isn't too bad. but it's because it's from New Jank. Item has this. Okay. Item slot, which has an item and a quantity. Okay, yeah. But yeah. My current project, it's a lot more simplified. It might not be that much better because there's probably a lot of code that's getting run many times that doesn't need to. Like a lot of signals are firing multiple times that don't need to be. So I think like if I go to, whoops, player, if I go to update slots in the player scene, this is my signal that I listen to a signal to see if I need to update my inventory slots. So I'm going to see update slots. Let's actually take a look and see how many times we're firing this update when we just do a simple thing. Okay, update slots. Okay, so it's only fired once, and then I pick something up. Update slots, okay. If I drag to there, it fires 3 times. If I drag to there, another 3. Yeah, like there's things that are getting updated many, many times. So I probably should go through and like make sure I'm not calling that signal way too many times. What am I going to work on today? That's true. I should probably actually get something done besides just the inventory splitting. But I think icons. But I don't really know because I need to figure out my style for the icons. So I have like this hammer, right? Show it there. It's pixel art in Sprite. And then here's my inventory scene. It's like, does it work? I don't know if it's... It maybe works. It just might be that the slot size is too small and I should make it bigger. So it's a little more viewable. And the UI, of course, is bad. This menu is really bad. It's really buggy with the clicks. But I should at least get some icons in there just so then things don't have, like right now when I go to the crafting menu and craft a fire pit, it should not show a rifle. So we can do some of that. Save this in our, there's stone hammer. Let's do placeables. Oh. I accidentally put that in the items. This needs to be in assets, 2D icons. And we're going to do fire pit. I could have AI generate me stuff. The problem is I moved to Finland and I just got my bank account set up here, but I also switched over my phone to be in the Finland region, and then all of my payments for all of my services just kind of stopped working. So now I don't have Spotify, I don't have my AI subscriptions, all that, and I still need to get my bank card set up, so I can't do placeholders with AI. I was gonna do that because it's at least nice for placeholders. It's so stupid I forgot to add the ceiling with the right texture, and now I have to change. Is it change each individual object to add the right texture? I love making those mistakes though, it's always fun. Okay, let's actually let's. How do I do this? Here. Where's my favorite one? Let's do the Splendor one. Load. This is not a final product for sure. Okay, and then let's do something like this. Oops. Oh, wait. Nope, that's not what we want. We want this. Okay, that's not too bad. Actually, was there some way of just adding an automatic outline? Let me look. Where did I move from? I moved from United States, Washington State, all the way out to Finland. Add outline in a sprite. I thought there was some way of just automatically doing that. Oh, Washington, I would have guessed Midwest. Oh, moved from Minnesota to Sweden. We're almost twins. Nice. There we go. I know one of my cousins lives in Minnesota. Originally from Washington, though. Outline tool, Shift O. Okay. There we go. Okay, and then move to there. Okay, this is where it gets tough. Because now I need to figure out how to do fire effect. I'm just gonna draw, okay, wait. Let's do a new layer. How do I do new layer? It's been so long since I've done anything here. New layer. Fire. I don't know what I'm doing. This is pretty rough. I mean, this is just placeholder, so I don't need to care too much. It's not really a good strong red in here. Oops. Okay, whatever. This is bad. It's fine. Gotta do Shift-O for that. Okay, we're gonna save this, call it good for now. Export as PNG. Minnesota is much more hipster than I think we get credit for. Would be my landing spot if I went back to the US. Okay. Lekri says save and commit code. Sounds good. I will go to my GitHub and added split stacks with middle mouse. Commit those. Campfire's not bad. It'll work for now. I just want at least some placeholders so I can look at the items and see what they are based on that instead of the fake icons I have right now. Fire pit resource. Now we can grab this, toss that in there. Okay, if I pick that up, okay, that shows up there like that. It could definitely use some work. It's definitely not as good as even the hammer. The hammer's like that. But we know it's a fire pit. Oh, the other cool thing I can do. We have firepit.obj right now. But what we can do instead is open this up and we can set the mesh. Now, in our blend file, use external. Main wood. Open. Wood 2. Supports wood. Reimport. Okay, I think I can also do this then too. So like my fire pit should be using the correct materials then. Based on that. Like if I look at this, what does it show? Main wood resource. Okay, nice. And I think the item will also show that. Now, item item has the actual mesh. Okay. So if I drop it, it drops like that. Which for some of these I'm not going to have the actual mesh. Like for the crafting table, I don't think I'll have the mesh because otherwise it's a little confusing on whether you should pick up or you should drop, or I would pick up using E, because right now if it's an item scene that drops, like if I just drop that, it's an item scene on the ground. So you press E to pick it up. But once you place it, then you press F to pick up items that are placed. So some of these, like the crafting bench, will probably be a little, like in Rust, they do the little baggies for most items. Guns have their own mesh, just like this tool, has a mesh. So I can see what it is easily. But a lot of these will just be like little packages or something. Okay. I might do a little UI. Okay, we're going to do a little UI labels. Actually, we can just have one. Interact label. Where is my... layout? Oh, transform. Let's do bottom and then... or maybe we put it in the hotbar. And then just move it up from there. We'll do that. White font color. Okay, now in our, what do we have? Item detect body entered, blah, blah, blah. We could do something like update interact label. Interact label dot text. Okay, we can do that for now. What we'll do is we'll just call this in all of these. Current focused interactable dot parent dot name. This is an interactable, or parent. What do placeables have? Maybe we should also have something like some text on the placeables. Because we have inventory, menu, toggle, none. We have these types. Then we could have something like so this is equipable. Equipables have type. Okay, that's fine. We don't need to worry about that. Placeables have an interactable type. And export var placeable name. So crafting bench, we have placeable name, crafting bench. Okay. Current focused interactable does not equal null. What else do we have? If current focused item does not equal null. So right now we have item detect, area entered, and body entered. So we have item seen. What do we want to be focused? Because actually, let's test this, because this needs to be commented. Okay. We can test this by doing something like this. So this is a toggle. So when we press... Okay, I can toggle that. I can pick that up. Where is interactables? Interactables is, okay. Let's go to our input actions. Interact. Okay, so we first pick up items. So if items is null, if we don't have a focused item, then we do the interactable. So we pick up items before. Pick up placeable is there if that's a whole different key, so we don't need to worry about picking up items because that's pressing F. Okay, so we pick up items first. That's how we do this. So that basically means we just need to do, what time is it? 7? Okay. Let me see how much time I have. Should be able to go for hey, Princessa Ellen, proud wife over here. What's up? Good to see you. I was just going to check how much time I have, but I think I got a little bit, right? Maybe. We're making good progress here, so. Okay, I'm going to change this label based on, okay, item first. So if current focused item does not equal null, then interact label dot text equals current focused item dot item dot name. If current focused item equals null and current focused interactable does not equal null, interact label dot text equals current focused interactable dot parent dot what do we call this? We just did this in not equipable, not interactable, placeable. We have placeable name. But that's in placeable. We're going to do equipable name here. Do your thing. Sounds good. Here, I'll show you some of the progress here. Now I need to go to placeable and remove placeable name. Then I need to go to things like stone hammer. We're going to say stone hammer. Wall lantern, we've got that. Wall lantern. Ceiling lantern, wall, ceiling lantern. Which obviously, like, all of these also have items. So maybe we don't need this. Maybe we just use the item name. Yeah, let's try that. If current focused interactable is what is it? Equipable. Then we do interact label dot text equals current focused interactable dot item dot name. Oh, placeable has item. Why does placeable have item? Equipable should have item, I think. Does this mean I'm going to have to destroy all of my... Or rebuild all of my... Okay, no. Ceiling lantern. Okay. Now that's there. Those are still all there. We still have our items. Well... Apparently not. Quick load, stone, hammer. Box. Small box. Nice. Why is this breaking? Expression of type interactable. Parent. Parent.item.name? Parent, okay, item name. That's if it's equipable, and equipable has the item. Okay. Let's give this a shot. Oh, we need to actually do this. Hey, hello lunch. How's Finland in January? Are you getting buried? Not quite. Hyper says, okay, I'm heading out. Dead Slap, thanks for the chill game dev vibes. Thank you, Hyper. I appreciate you being here and in the YouTube chat. Bye for now. Catch you again later. Thank you again for the raid. I really appreciate it. Good to see you again. Hope you have a good one, and hopefully I can, do you stream on, yeah, you rated on both, so you do stream on both. Let me give you a shout out real quick. Obviously, most of the viewers are from your channel anyway, but does this? Do I just type it in hyper game dev underscore? Let me see if this works. Yes. But shout out to Hyper. Appreciate you. Thank you again for the second raid now. But let me go make sure I'm actually following you, because I don't think I did after my... after my last stream. Okay. Followed. Nice. There we go. Yeah, thank you again, Hyper. I really appreciate it. You have a good one. Okay, so this is working now. But hello, lunch. Good to see you again, of course. But also, okay, stone hammer, ceiling lantern, wall lantern, small box, basic crafting bench. I can pick that up, put it down. Okay, so now we just need to update interactable label. That's all happening there. But what was I going to say? Lunch. Snow actually not too crazy. In Oulu, that's where I live. It's not too much. Prime in the YouTube chat says, I'm also going to head out. I have to record voice lines for my game. All right. Good luck, buddy. Have a good one. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. If you want to stay up to date on the stream, you can always drop a follow on YouTube. And also, if you're interested, you can join the Discord to get, notifications if I go live. Obviously, completely up to you, but... Can't wait to see you win an award for Best Game at the Game Awards. Thank you. You too, bro. We'll both get there. Also, if you have watched the stream over the past couple days and you're wondering why you can actually see me, it's because I finally have a light in my room, which is nice. It's good to have light, Okay, so... Update interact label. First checks if current focused item equals null. then we could do this. We could just do this. Does not equal null. Elif this does not equal null. And then else interact label dot text equals that. And then what we need to do is actually add in some strings here, so we can do pick up. Oh, I gotta do plus. Copy that, and then we can do pick up that. And then we will need one more check in there to see. Okay, pick up small box, pick up stone hammer. Nice. Okay. Actually, how do we do this? So press F to pick up, press E to interact. I think I'll also change this away from being uppercase. Next, you'll need a fat poster over your right shoulder. Yes. True. Okay, press E to pick up stone hammer. It says it's probably pretty small for you guys to see, but press E to interact. Now, can I do like a new line? How do I do like a new line in label Godot? Okay. Can I do that's within the string? Plus N, press F to pick up plus this. That way I don't have to do two labels. Dosman, on-screen celebration. What is that? Is that just a Twitch thing? Because I don't think I added that, right? First time I've watched, usually I just listen at work, visuals look nice. It's almost like a cell shaded, reminds me of Fur Fighters or something. Yeah. Cell shading I haven't quite done, but I have the outlines, which kind of gives it that, like, it's not fully cell shaded, but it has the outlines. Okay, nice. Okay, we've got press E and press F to pick up small box. Okay. Let's go to our 2D. Let's move this up a little bit. And for the font size, we're going to do like 25. Let's see how it looks. It's a Twitch thing. Okay. Does it display something on screen or what? Okay, now that's bigger. Nice. Okay, we don't need that. One thing is we do need this to be horizontal alignment center. Okay. And then let's move it up even more. Press E to pick up ceiling lantern. Press E to interact. Okay. Now it's looking good. Now let's see what happens when we like drop things. So if I go here, it's like that, and then nice. Okay. Now, one thing I want to do maybe I could do this in my item. Set the mesh scale for the item mesh when the item is in the world. Mesh scale. We're going to do a float equals 1.0. So normally everything is 1.0. So now I can go to like my, let's go to the box, small box. Small box currently uses this. I'm going to set it to 111. Okay. But then mesh scale, I'm going to do 0.5. Okay. Now what I can do is in my item scene, item scene, mesh instance dot 3D dot mesh dot scale. No. Scale. Let's do 1.0, 1.0, 1.0. Scale is a 3D or vector 3. Okay, nice. So what we can do is item dot item or mesh scale. Okay, nice. So let's try this on the other ones. So some items will just be at scale 1. Drop it, boom, it stays at scale 1. But if I pick up a small box and drop it, then it's at 0.5. Nice. Even though the full scale is that. Okay, so some of these things, basic crafting bench. I know that I have a blend file for my other project. Crafting bench dot blend. I'm going to copy it. Go into my assets. I'm going to throw that in there. Placeables, I guess. Yeah. No. Says I already have a placeables. Let me see. Yeah. Why is it not showing up in my file thing? Let me figure this out. I'm going to paste it into there. Then I'm just going to go to here. And in Godot, I can do this. Assets. We have placeables. New folder, I'll do crafting stations. Okay. Unnamed material, use external. Mesh, we're going to do save to file. Path. Assets 3D. Placeables. Crafting stations. And we can do crafting bench or underscore mesh. Nice. Now we can look up crafting bench. And instead of just having a CSG box, we can grab our blend file, instantiate it. This we can delete. Why is this not using the material? Let's see what's going on here. Okay, that's still using that. We'll do 0.5 on this. Why is this not working? Let me open it. Oh, it doesn't have one assigned. Wood. So maybe that's it. Use external path. There we go. Nice. And that's now up to date, I think. There we go. We got our little crafting table. Opens up the crafting bench. Nice. Okay, we're starting to make some progress. We're all over the place still because we were going to make icons and then we just made one. And now we're working on meshes. But you know what? That is okay. Interesting. Got some weirdness with that, but that's fine. I think one thing we'll end up doing is reworking our UI anyway, so I don't really care. Just so we have some color there. Now we can add other things to the mesh, like we're gonna grab this stuff. We can make like a hammer on the desk, or we'll do a chisel. Is that how you spell it? I have no idea. This is the desk. Okay, we'll go here. Oops. Extrude this, go to here, zoom in a bit, go down, go up. Rotate this on the X. Okay, that's mostly good enough. GX to get this moved over a little bit. Let's maybe GY. Yeah, bring it in. 7. We're going to do a rotate around the Z by that much. Going to give it a material. Stone. Okay. Save that. Let's see if it automatically pulls everything in. Okay, nice. Let's see if it pulls it in the game as well. Samu, what's up, bro? How you doing? Good to see you, man. Okay, it does not bring this in as the mesh. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I'm just now realizing that these are backwards. Because I don't think any of my placeables I've been able to tell. Yeah. You're great. Nice. Good to hear. Vidya Vinny, what is up, bro? It has been a while. What's the deal here? We are working on our little cozy crafting survival style game, I guess. But yeah, we're doing some artwork right now. Looks comfy. Yeah, that's the main thing. Okay, so because it's different meshes, I can't just load in all of the top piece meshes. I could have them on. It doesn't really matter with the item mesh. The item mesh can just be the desk. Okay. Now I got to remember how to pull other blend files. How to pull blend file into another. Append. Okay. For a standalone copy or link for a live editable reference. I think append is probably what I want. Object collection material. Okay. Nice. Just append the collection, it looks like. Okay, now there is a hammer there. Select all, GZ, move it up to here, rotate around the Y 90, GZ, bring it back down, go up here, rotate around the Z, like that. Then we can do GX to move it over, and GY to move it up a little. Okay, that's not too bad for now. Your powers have more than doubled since the last time we've met. Yes. We've been making some good progress. This is literally like a week or something of work. I am pulling from a lot of other projects, so I've been able to pull a lot of code. But yeah, but we're getting there. Okay, this looks pretty good for now. The only thing is it is backwards when we place it. So when it's on the ground, you don't see that, the hammer and stuff, but that's fine. think what we do, let me see what happens when I go to my player. We have placeable snap. Spring position node. Which is that way. Crafting bench is pointed that way. That should be fine, right? Why is that -1? Let me also do this. Just pressed. Okay. Item left click action. Current tool does not equal null. Okay, nice. This self-reparents. Player dot global position equals player dot global position. I think that will help us so then we don't accidentally place things underground. This is advanced stuff I couldn't hope to catch up to right now. I mean, a lot of it is from stuff in my older projects. So it's just been kind of building on my okay, can place not true there. I think this will help. Yeah. I think so. Okay, anyway. But yeah, like a lot of this stuff is from my old, the old stuff I was working on, and I'm just kind of pulling it into the new projects. So it's just slowly building on itself. The skills, they're all kind of working towards the same project, which is this one. And now I can finally do it. Okay. Now, what was I going to do? Oh, I need to... Placeable snap is there. Spring position is there. And I currently... Oh, I can't do... I need to do spring position node there. On equip... on placeable. What did I call that? Spring position node. Spring position node dot global position, because that's where placeable snap is trying to reach. So we should, oh, okay. That is doing something different, but it's not correct. Okay, we're lerping to that. To that position there. Placeable snap dot raycast. Get collision point. Spawn position is a vector 3 equals player dot placeable snap dot raycast dot get collision point. Then we can comment this out and go here. Equals spawn position. Okay, we could do this if, just to check, player dot placeable snap dot raycast dot is colliding. Then we do that. Nice, and I can tell that it snapped. Yeah, snapped to the actual point. That's good. Because I don't want it to be able to accidentally go underground, because right now I'm like lerping to things. Lerping to the position, because I think it looks nice to do it that way. But when you actually place it, it should snap. So if you're moving fast, it'll snap to where you're actually looking. Okay. Okay, nice. Now we just need to figure out why. Because it's following the placeable snap. We need to figure out why it's not... Okay, it's not getting the correct rotation. Placeable snap gets rotated to, the Y gets rotated to the new rotation angle. Get collision normal. Oh, that's if it's wall. Okay. Else we do spring position node. So it is the spring position node rotation. So spring position road, or, oh, is this wrong? No. Unless it's just my crafting bench that's wrong. Okay, because that's correct. Let's look at our... If I go here... No, that's correct. Okay, let's test with something like the wall lamp. Okay, so now that points away from me. Okay, that's good. That's what we want. Okay, it's just weirdly, yeah, it's just always been rotated incorrectly. Why does that do that? Oh. Anytime you have something equipped. Oops, don't mean to save that. Every time you have something equipped and then you drag, it closes all UI. Toggle inventory, toggle build menu, toggle craft menu. I think it's in the build menu one. Set current placeable. Oh yeah, we've cleared. Clear tool is happening here, which toggles that. So I think it's in set current placeable or set current tool because we're doing clear tool. I think we just need to do a quick go to close all UI. I think we can't really have these here. But what happens when I do this? Okay, now I can do that, and then I can open that. If this is selected and then I drag to here, gets rid of it, but then my cursor goes away. Okay. Which means set current tool. Something's happening in set current tool. That does clear tool. Which toggles build menu false. Okay, that's fine. change tool does this. Okay, set current tool null. Then we do toggle build state, which does this. Oh my goodness, I have way too much annoying stuff here. Way too much. My UI state stuff is terrible. If this equals index, let me get my music running again. Let's look at mouse mode. This is in ready. Close all UI does that, but we're not calling close all UI, I don't think. Toggle inventory. Toggle build menu. Something weird is happening. Change it to null. So we're doing change tool, change tool on the drag. Then we're doing set current tool to null. So it's got to be in here. Clear tool. Does toggle build menu false? Oh, this is a lot. Active hotbar index equals index. So if we're already active, then we set it to that. Okay, so this isn't happening, I don't think. Wait, maybe it is. Drag from, okay, then we do change tool, okay. Yeah, okay, so we drag from one. Then we do change tool with the same. Okay, so this is happening. Clear tool and set current tool. That's where things are happening. Interesting. We're running clear tool twice because set current tool already does that. We can get rid of that. Then we do here. First thing that happens is clear tool. Let me check set current placeable. Okay, good. This can get rid of that. So set current tool does clear tool, which toggles the build menu and deletes all the children. This does not need to be happening twice. But I don't think anything in there is doing it. Current tool equals new tool. If tool does not equal null and it's a placeable, then we run this. This is toggle build state false. But set current tool just does this. Oh, okay, so I'm looking at the wrong one. Current tool does not equal null, then we add child. Else we toggle build state to false, okay. Maybe it's toggle build state. Okay, is building equals false. So then we do this. Update connections, emit 4000. Else. I am so lost in my own code right now. Set build state true. Copy this. We're going to do build state false and see what prints when we do this. Because the thing is, I don't want all of this to be able to be active at the same time. Well, I do. Maybe I do. Maybe I just want them on the same thing. So it always pulls up your crafting, it always pulls up your inventory, and it always pulls up a secondary inventory. Okay, so this goes like that. I go like that, true. Drag there, false. Set build state true, okay. So false is what is happening. But this doesn't seem like it does anything. Set current tool. Maybe it's in change. No, I see. So this runs, but then this also runs. No, but that doesn't matter. Print. Same. We'll try this. We're gonna figure it out one way or the other. Does same. Okay, so we are in this. This is what is giving us issues, I believe. And we're setting tool to null. I need to do this. 1. Okay. Mouse still disappears. At what point is this just deciding to why is it getting rid of my cursor? I am just having the roughest time with this. Okay. Now it's working. Okay. You know what? That is a clearing tool. Okay, I don't think we need that. Get item at index does not equal null. Get item dot index dot item inventory type equals equipable. Then we do this. Oh, but if it's not equipable, then we print test. We're going to do another print test here. Classic. Okay, I'm going to grab this. When I do this, okay, switches it to null or clears the tool. When I grab from here, blip, we have test, 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 test. Okay, I'm going to try this again. Okay, let me restart it so I can see actually. Okay, no tests yet. Drag from there to there, and we have test. Why is that? You know what? If current active hotbar index equals player.drag from index, we're doing that. Wait, drag from index. Drop item. I don't know. Give a float effect to the hammer. Well, I'm actually going to have hands for it. Okay, that still does that. Cool. Oh, you know what that is? We probably just have a... Set current tool. We have something where like change tool is happening. Maybe change tool is getting called in the wrong places. Just released, left click, then we do a change tool. If hovered, that's probably, this is probably it right here. Let me see here. So when you release, oh, drag to index. Okay. Drag from. I think it's this. How much did I remove that's going to give me problems later, though? That's the issue. Don't you get annoyed with the tab symbols? Not really. Stream ended. Did it crash? Is my stream crashed? Hopefully not. No, it seems like it's there. Good. Yeah, Tan, I was thinking I will add hands and stuff. Okay, now if I have that selected, nice. When I drag these, it doesn't change that. But if I go here, ooh, I just drag that to there. Ah, that's probably something I was trying to fix. Let me try this. Okay, I have that selected. Then I go there. Okay. Then it deselects. Oh. what we can do here is we can just do -1 there, I think. Hey, thank you for the follow, Princess Ellen. Princessa, since it's in Finnish. Okay, that's fine. And I drag to there. Oh, come on. Why did that not work suddenly? We're going to do drag from index again. Okay, I'm here. Blip. Okay, that no longer clears it. Why? It was working. What did I do wrong? Okay, that no longer does that. Okay. Okay, that keeps that active, but then the tool is still there, so we need to clear the tool. We need to do function, change tool. Clear tool does this. Set current tool does that. That is clear tool. It gets rid of all this. Current active hotbar index equals index. We're doing change tool, right? But when the drag to index happens here, what if I do a elif? So here we do drag from. Maybe that does it. Nope. That also does not do it. My states are all messed up. Okay. Just released, left click. Okay. So. Let's think about this. So, if we're changing the tool, so if we're dragging from something, then it needs to be dragged to index. And I think from here, it needs to be dragged from index, I think. Nope. This might be creating more problems than I'm trying to solve. Okay, that clears it, but it doesn't actually clear it. So if that's your active hotbar item, and you drag away from it, oh, that's why I was doing that. So, well, okay. Okay. If the one you're dragging from is your active one, then we do want to do the drag from. Let me try this. Else we want to do oh, but we're also doing like oh, I think I have way too many things going on in this change. Yeah, because we're doing like reset drag data here. Drag from inventory and index is 1000 or does not equal. Then we do all this and then we reset. But we might not need to do all of this until after. Maybe we're just resetting stuff too soon. Okay. Okay. But if I go like this and I go there, okay, it resets it. That's fine. The only thing is, change tool, parent entity, drag to index. Maybe this needs to also be from. So, no, because that does the same thing. The drag to index. So the thing we're dragging to, if that is our active hotbar index, then we need to change tool to that. But then what does that do? That just resets it. Ah, okay. It's always going to do that. Because in our change tool, we check if it equals that, and then we set it to null. That's kind of fine. I'm fine with that for now. When swapping items in inventory, it will always reset the tool to null. This is fine for now. See slot UI swaps to see what's happening in case I forget and decide that I want it to be different. Okay. Yeah, it looks like my Twitch crashed for a little bit, but hopefully it's fine. YouTube, it seems to still be going. That looks like my Twitch. Yep. By the way, Kaneki, thank you for stopping by. All right, so this stuff is all going to have to be changed anyway. I think what I want to do, we have inventory UI, we have hotbar, and we have build menu, crafting menu. We're going to do this, move these up to here, inventory UI. Full menu. We're going to grab all of these, throw them under there. Let's go into 2D. Let's make them all visible. Why does it turn all of them off at once? Okay. Change this to a panel container. Go to this. Change type, panel container. Crafting menu, change type, panel, container. We need to do this in the build menu. And in our player, inventory UI does not have a script. Okay. Player script, we need to grab our build menu. Crafting menu, build menu. Access all of these is unique. Now we go into 2D. Okay. We've got some majorly messed up UI. Inventory UI is going to go center. How did we have this before? HBox container, okay. Okay, nice. Now we have that. Crafting menu. On the left, build menu. Oh, build menu does not need to be a... That just needs to be right there. And build menu, change type. Oh, I need to that here. Change type. Control. Okay. Build menu needs to extend control. Okay, now we can see both of these together. Now we got to align them better. Build menu needs this to be... Nope. Panel container needs to be... I don't understand any of this. Let's see what breaks first. Okay, that's all like that. I also can't get out of it. Toggle, whoops, let's do toggle inventory. We're gonna do this. Crafting, no, we don't even need that. We just need full menu here. Okay, full menu, and then toggle inventory should do full menu, full menu. Okay, let's see what happens when we play. Everything's all wonky. Okay, I still can't press tab. Oh, I think that's because build menu is visible. Open secondary, that does that. Pressed. The build menu is visible, true. Here we do this, so that should be full menu. Okay, now we can bring it back. Okay. It's working. It's just the alignment is way off. Close secondary inventory should do this. Where do we have secondary and stuff? Secondary inventory is there. Secondary inventory. That's secondary inventory show. This is update slots. Whatever. I am not going to worry about it. Okay, how does this behave? Craft tab. Okay, we have everything in as unique, right? Inventory UI, crafting menu. Okay, perfect. So then I can do a add child node. This will be a H box container. Horizontal box container. Okay. Now the issue we're going to run into is that on different screen sizes, this is going to look different. Okay. Like on this, it's just way bigger. But like our inventory UI, HBox, okay. Here. Do I have like minimum sizes on these? Okay, now we need to get these to have the same separation and all that. So we'll go to the player. This is going to be a style blocks flat. Copy that. Go back to the player. Paste. This just, I don't know how to align this stuff in different sizes and stuff. This panel container. No, the tabs. Tab box empty. Oh, but this has something. This needs paste, boom. This can go away. This here needs to have that. Then we need to try again. Okay, now they look the same. Do things still work? Okay, we still have that. Close secondary. No, I think we do. That. Okay, nice. But I think what we still want is maybe that to stay there, but just have nothing. Also, what happens when we do this now? Okay, I can't seem to drop, which means our inventory drop item container. Let's go to 2D. Ah, I see. Working on a 2D game in Godot. Do you think making a 3D game in Godot is hard? I mean, all games are hard, but honestly, I think 3D for me is easier because it's less work on the art side. And it's not really that difficult to move into 3D. There's some stuff that you have to learn, but it's the main difference is the art, really. A lot of the concepts are going to transfer, but it's definitely doable. Like 3D, you have to learn, how to work with 3D models and stuff, but I don't know, the artwork in 2D for me I've always found is just really time consuming. Depending on the game, of course. And it's the same thing with 3D. Like, I just do low poly in 3D. That's why it's easier. But okay, so we just have this. So we could move this out into there and it should still work. Okay, this is already looking way better. The only thing is these are centered like that. And why aren't these centered? There we go. Now it's centered. Will it update? Nice. Okay. That's centered. Place that there. I press E. It all breaks. Oh. Okay. It just does that. Oh, and that is because we have toggle inventory, but we have toggle craft menu. And anywhere this is, we need to change this to toggle inventory. And actually what we can do here, inventory open. And instead of doing that, we can do clear other tabs. So if you exit, we clear other tabs. Then here, toggle crafting menu. We just don't need this anymore. Why did that happen? Oh, okay. Crafting bench are interactable. It's all the way down there, and it's really small. So we can move this up. We'll just do it like that. Okay, we still have that for some reason. Inventory open, then we clear other tabs. Oh, this is just if it is interactable. Oh, no, but that's if this, okay. Nice. Okay. Then we put this down, we go in, crafting bench, go away, walk back up, go like that, have to press E, perfect. Nice, okay, we are making progress. Oh, and if you hit right click, the build menu pops up. Can you press that? No. If I do that, the build menu still pops up, so we can just do toggle build menu wherever toggle build menu is. We will do, let's see. We just need to do a check. Okay, we don't need this. It does not equal inventory open. Then we do that. UI state dot craft. This is toggle craft menu. Is this used anywhere? No. UI state dot craft. That's nowhere. So how come I can still... Okay, now I can't. Okay, we're good. We just need to align that. Okay, well now it's there. Build menu. VBox container. There we go. Nice. Okay. Big time moves being made. Didn't get nearly as much art done as I thought, but we got a ton of UI stuff. But unfortunately, oh, how did you learn to make games? Sorry, Johan. Basically, I just started looking at tutorials. Whoops. Box has. Okay, here I can get rid of this. I just started looking at tutorials and then trying things out and just trying to make games from whatever I learned. But just stick with it. That's the main thing. Just keep going. It just takes time. You're going to get better. But yeah, I do need to bounce. But what I want to do is I will raid out. So let me find someone to raid. Oh, JD Does Dev is on. So I'm going to raid him on Twitch. Good stream today. Cheers. Hey, thanks, Sengeki. Yeah, good. It was a good stream. I think the... Okay, let's let that get ready. I think the thing is I did a lot of bug fixing, which is good. And just this UI stuff is nice. It's good to have that out of the way. We've been making huge progress, though. It's nice. Everyone on YouTube, thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Tan, Johan, Samu, good to see you, brother. Prime, Hyper Game Dev, thank you for the raid on both platforms once again. Really appreciate it. Hope you had a great one. Lunchbox, good to see you. Hey, thanks for the stream. Good luck with your project. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here as well. Sangeki, Vinny, Dosemain, Hello Lunch, Hyper again, of course, and Ellen, my wife. First time watching, I believe. No Strat, good to see you, brother. glad you could be here. Who else was here? Lekari and Obscure. Lekari, good to see you, bro. And more, but I can't scroll up enough. Anyway, I'm going to bounce out. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you all. I'll see you next time. Bye. And for those of you in the YouTube chat, I appreciate you being here. Hope you have a good one.